Welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for tuning in with us tonight. We got a great show for you guys. Excited to talk all things Star Wars with some Hail Marys thrown in there. But we got to get into things. So, hello there. Let's prepare for battle with the rundown. We got question of the week. Holonet news, including Obi-Wan Season 2. Is it happening? Rumors abound. Project Hail Mary trailer. Excited for that one. And we will end it with Battlefront 3. Brought back to life with Bismo, our special guest for tonight. So let's meet this war-torn crew. We got the fearless radio operator, fact checker. What's up, fact checker? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Excited to be back. Missed everyone.
Yeah.
We forgot that. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You are Vader.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. Glad you're back with us.
Thank you.
And
are you talking to me or the Gonkers?
I'm talking to you right now.
Oh,
I'm talking to you. But we are mostly excited for our special guest, who is a great friend of the show. We absolutely love and adore him. He's an awesome dude. He is the general himself, Bismo. What is up, Bismo? How you doing, man?
What's up? Mostly excited. Come on, fact checker's great too. But anyhow, I'm just happy to be back, and I'm happy Stay on Target is back. I missed listening and watching to you guys. I mean, what? I'm just happy you guys are okay. You know.
Yes, we are okay here. Yeah, sorry we had some sickness going through the house, especially in my place.
Sorry, you can't control sickness.
Right? No,
I could control it.
Yeah, apparently
I stayed healthy these
Yes.
few weeks surrounded by you guys, all falling like flies.
I didn't know how you did it, but you did. So
getting sunburn every other day.
it
works.
You just wore your Vader mask everywhere.
Exactly.
But
kidding.
yeah, so sorry we weren't here last week more. We did miss you guys. Sickness was not fun, but we are over it. We're on the other side at least now. We're happy to be back with everybody and just pumped that you're here with us tonight, Bismo. As always, bring in the heat, bring in the gaming knowledge too. I'm excited to get into this Battlefront 3 with you. We've been kind of trying to plan this for a while and schedules have not aligned, but now the moon and the stars.
Nothing like the present.
Yes, exactly.
And he is the expert. I've watched his videos. They're good.
He is, man. He is. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about your latest video as well. But let's see who else is with us tonight, Fact Checker. The chat, the gonkers out there.
It is on fire. And we'll start with, KG jumped in, said somehow stay on target return.
Yes, that is perfect.
Yeah,
That's
so
absolutely perfect.
Yeah, definitely. But we got a great crew with us tonight, as always. Let's see. Hannah is in the chat. Good to have you back. Matt is also here. I think trying to stay cool.
Oh yeah, it's hot out there.
Yeah, like everywhere it's hot, I think.
It's been really hot lately.
Hot.
Feeling hot.
Yeah. Take a break. May is here as well. Been a while, but he's hanging in there. Busy life, sounds like.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So he needs to take more breaks.
Yeah, he needs to take more breaks. Right?
I know.
Oh
Sorry,
my goodness.
dad
No,
jokes.
that's fine.
bad.
That's why they watch mostly for your dad jokes.
Yeah, I doubt that. I see the comments.
Right?
What's this Vader lore though with Fact Checker? Like, where did this start? What did I miss?
Oh, it literally started right now because we forgot to change the background image.
Okay.
We're just rolling with it.
I didn't know you were the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah, we're keeping it though. Now we're just keeping it. You are the Dark Lord of the Sith,
Okay,
Fact Checker.
that's fine. Sometimes
Well, think about it.
comes
Think
out.
about it. Who is most likely? The Sith are deceptive. Fact Checker may act nice on the outside, but we all don't really know what's going on.
Oh gosh!
I think
wow.
you have a really good point there.
Shots fired, Bismo. And here I was on your team. I thought.
Well, they liked Anakin before he turned to
Well,
the dark
I didn't
side.
say what team I was on.
Oh, wow.
Wait a sec. Wait, there's only 3 of us. What? I'm with the
Dustin?
Gonkers. Maybe they'll join my side for once. That'd be nice.
They're always.
They're
on
always
your
on
side.
your. No, they're always on your side.
I don't know.
All right,
Bismo's trying to turn them against me.
You've turned them against me. He is.
He is Obi-Wan.
He is Obi-Wan. That's so true. So you are Anakin. This is
All
really
right.
happening. Darth Fact
It's
Checker.
really happening.
It's really happening, people. She's turning to the dark side live on air.
What have I done?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yep. And we got Hunter Davis coming in hot as well. Hit the nail on the head, Bismo. She's always been Sith.
Oh my goodness, not at all.
I feel like we're going to get some hashtag protect the fact checkers tonight.
I don't know. Taberkin said hashtag Darth Fact Checker. So
True. She did.
I have-
Gonkers be like, you turned her against me.
Man, here I was excited to hang out with you guys. No,
Oh,
might be regretting that.
Wow. You are turning Vader. Now you're regretting hanging out with us.
No, just having a good time. What
I
happened?
know. Aw, KG's got me
Unless-
back.
Unless.
Oh.
Do it. Yeah, KG's got your back. She would never turn to the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you haven't seen her in the morning. I'm just kidding.
Oh my
Just kidding.
Wow. Can
totally-
we continue just
Yeah, we should
introducing
move
the
on.
chat?
Yeah.
This is
All right.
not going in my favor.
It is not. No, who else have we missed? Fact checker. Keep
Oh,
going.
man. Well, just on the same note, Hannah did say, poor fact checker. Tamerkin said, I'd never turn on the fact checker. Matt said, it was said you were to destroy the Sith fact checker, not join them. Oh, man.
Oh, so much good stuff.
Take a break.
Imperial March intensifies.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
This
whoa.
is awesome, though.
And Bismo's playing Inception here. Yes, good. Take good.
Oh, what? Whoa, I didn't type that.
What? What is
Have I
happening?
account?
It
What?
wasn't me.
It's Inception. We're playing Inception. Oh,
And then
man.
Angelina is hanging out. We also have Iñaki from the future said it's raining hard here in Manila,
What's up, Iñaki?
Philippines.
Oh,
wow.
man.
Okay. So hopefully you're staying cooler than others here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well,
Did I miss anyone?
yeah, let us know in the chat if we miss you. We missed you last week. We wish we could give you a virtual hug. Does that sound weird? That sounds a little weird. Never mind. Forget that.
If I said it, it wouldn't sound weird.
Yeah, there we go. Bismo's got it down. All right, thanks, man. Yeah, covered for me.
Sonia just jumped in too.
All right, what's up, Sonia? Thanks for jumping in. All right, we got things to get to, things to talk about, and you guys keep chatting away. We will post your comments as well, and we're excited to talk with every single one of you. So let's get to a question of the week. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us so we can continue to grow this wonderful community together. Because with all of us together, Bismo, you ready? We make Star Wars
butter.
Yes.
Butter.
Dude,
Wow,
nailed it.
you nailed it. That was like a.
That
was almost like a. That felt Dragon Ball to me. That felt like you were going Kamehameha.
Start charging up.
Dude, I saw
3D
printed like Kamehameha ball, and I totally thought of you, and I was like, I need to 3D print that for Bismo and send it to him. But then I couldn't find the file, so I've failed you. But I will try and make it up to you in this live stream. That was a whole roller coaster of emotions there. Sorry. Anyway, you did a great job. You've done better than almost anybody.
Yeah.
So. Okay, come on now. Let's. That's too much. That's too much. I can't accept this.
You can accept it, and you will.
Wow. Whoa. Okay.
I think everyone does a good job with it, but shout out to Nick. He just has a way of saying butter.
Yeah, he does have a way with saying single words.
Okay.
No, he actually. The last time he was on, he's been real busy, unfortunately. But we'll get him back here, and he's still on the War of the Cosmic Tyrants. He will continue to do that with us. But last time he was on, he had an absolute epic rant. Not really a rant. It was like just a very well thought out Andor season 2 speech. It was incredible. I was like, dang, man. It was so good. But Andor. Here we go. But yeah, all right. Let's jump into question of the week. The question of the week is, who in Star Wars would you follow into battle? All right. This is I thought it was apropos for our Star Wars Battlefront 3 that we will be talking with you, Biz. So
yeah.
Now that I've given you 5 minutes to think about it, have you come up with an answer?
What was the question? Can you repeat?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't send it to you. Who in Star Wars would you follow into battle? Sorry, fact checker. I usually send that to you.
I knew it as soon as I read it, though. I mean, obviously, it's General Kenobi. I mean, he's just an inspiring leader as is. But if we're taking it from a fundamental level, he's the master of Sorsu. He's going to be blocking all those blaster bolts. So I got the best chance of actually, doing something if I'm following Kenobi, like literally following right behind him, because I might survive.
Yeah, that was like practical and inspiring. I didn't expect you to go both. You hit me with both there. That's really good.
I come prepared.
And you do. You come a lot more prepared than we do. Yeah, that's a really good answer, man. That makes total sense. And you even pulled out the form, Sarisu. Yeah, defense is his main thing in Sarisu.
In Battlefront, he's almost overpowered if you level him up all the way, just for his blocking, because he can almost infinitely block. So he can almost infinitely block blasters, lightsabers, and whatnot. I mean, not actually infinite, but he's pretty dang tough to defeat. So, yeah.
That makes sense, man. And just while we're on right now talking about it, I'm going to go ahead and plug our after stream. We're going to be playing. I switched cameras there for dramatic effect. We're going to be playing Battlefront. Well, I will not be. Bismo, the one who actually knows how to play games, the gamer himself, will be playing Battlefront 2 during our after stream with all of you. We're going to be talking all things Star Wars still, but we're going to be watching the Master at work. Speaking of Kenobi, destroying those fools. So definitely, if you're not a member, become a member now. It's less than a candy bar a month, and it's a good time. We always have fun over there, and it's fun chatting with everybody. I love hanging out with you guys. So we'd love to see you there. Yes, Factor.
Now we're going to roast Bismo for the introduction he did to me during this show. So things might get a little spicy.
What? I was not informed of this.
I was gonna be nice.
I'm gonna be. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, I'll tell you what. Well, the first game of Supremacy. If I am not, you can roast me if I'm not top 3 on the lobby out of 40 in the first game of Supremacy.
Whoa! Wow.
Will you tell us if you are? Because we might not know.
The stream will show. I'll show it the stream. So.
Okay. We still might not know. Yeah. At least the fact checker won't.
No, I won't. I mean, it's all impressive to me, so I'll cheer you on. I was just kidding.
Yeah, sure. And then she's going to turn to the dark side later.
Maybe I'll try to play a little bit of Kenobi at some point too, so you guys can look forward to that. I'm also thinking about playing on the Empire because the Death Troopers are super fun to play with. But yeah,
nice.
Looking forward to that.
Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well, watching you destroy and then talking more Battlefront 3. All right, fact checker, have you come up with an answer to this question? I know we got some great ones in the chat, but
follow into battle?
Yeah, in Star Wars. In all of Star Wars, who would you follow into battle?
I mean, I guess my first thought was Anakin because you guys were talking about.
Is that for aesthetics?
It doesn't even matter the reason.
I mean, it's explain though.
Oh,
yeah, explain.
I don't know. He was pretty good, and from what I saw,
I don't
For
know.
the Clone Wars, during the Clone Wars,
that's what I pictured.
He was going to town. I mean, he was like their top general, really. I mean, you could maybe say Mace Windu at the time, but as far as like, if we look at like the resumes of what they accomplished, probably during the Clone Wars themselves, but yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like he went on a ton of missions, maybe more than Mace.
Yeah.
So that's why I think of him.
And to your point there as well, he cares a lot more about, not that Obi-Wan doesn't, but he cares a lot about the people he's with. Yeah. And he will go above and beyond to make sure you are safe.
Nice, I like that.
If it's somebody who's
even his droid.
Yeah, even his droid, right. Yeah, great point. So
you guys said it.
We got the best combo already going here. We got Obi-Wan, we got Anakin, and I'm going to hit you with
Ahsoka.
No.
Oh.
Oh, don't make that face. Oh,
yeah, exactly.
What was that?
Okay.
Wow.
No.
Too early.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Whoa.
Sorry. I was trying to throw shade. I just wasn't going to go there.
That was
okay. Maybe Clone Wars Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's what
maybe Clone Wars.
We were just talking about Clone Wars.
I didn't even know we were going there, man. No.
Look what you did. Why'd you do this to me, fact checker?
You guys deserved that.
Oh,
so
we
bad.
deserve that. Wow. She is dark.
She's turned us against
She's turned us against each other. What the heck? She is the dark side.
Oh my goodness. Matt said Dustin will pick Sabine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
okay.
awesome.
Well, maybe Rebel Sabine in certain points.
See?
But wow. Okay, no, I was gonna say Master Yoda just because
nice.
Master Yoda, he's the leader, and he's pretty inspiring. He's kind of small, so practicality wise, I don't know if it works quite as well as yours, Bismo, but I just feel like he would be very inspiring, and he does know what to do. Especially that's one of the first episodes we get in the Clone Wars is him leading a group of clones and kind of encouraging them, even though they're like, we're just a number, we're just clones, we don't mean anything. And he inspired them to do, some good stuff, even though he was really the one wrecking shop. But
it's a great episode.
Yeah, it's a great episode. It's inspiring.
I literally remember watching it as it came out too, as a kid, so long ago. So it has a special place in my heart. But yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Yoda did a good job. I don't know if there were was there a casualty of clones? I don't remember exactly.
I feel like there might have been one.
May have been one, but he did his best, and he won the day. So
right, and I just remember it being inspiring. Like he was inspired. Yeah. He inspired his troops, and he did care about them. Where he could have just been like, I'm the master Jedi here, dude. You guys are cannon fodder, and who cares? But no, he actually, I felt like embodied the Jedi well in that situation. Not that he's perfect, mind you, but I thought he did a good job, and he would be. It'd just be cool to see, like Yoda flipping around out there, just wrecking shop. You're like, oh, look at that. I don't know. It'd be kind of funny. Anyway, so that was my answer. I think that is the trifecta here for us. not. I mean, I would follow Ahsoka too, just to be fair. If it was the last one. No, I'm just joking. No, not totally joking. No, no. The Mandalorian attack, Siege of Mandalore, Ahsoka, I would follow for sure. That was incredible. All right.
Wait. What happened to Marok though?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about this. He got dusted. It was, it was so, it was so, I should have seen it coming. I was so excited about Marok, and then he got dusted, which is my namesake.
Pretty much.
It fits perfectly, and I have not forgiven Dave Filoni ever since.
Yeah, we know.
It's a personal vendetta now. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. All right, but what's the chat saying? Fact, I know they got some really great answers here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got to scroll up because
Darth fact checker.
Fire. Yeah, right. KG said probably Obi-Wan and agrees with Bismo. He's
because of Obi-Wan. Yeah, where was that?
Um,
Wow, that was way up there.
Angelina said the sequels she would follow into battle.
Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting. Not sure if I want to comment too much on that one.
Sonia would follow.
Wait, what? Who specifically? Who specifically from the sequels though?
She might have clarified. I scrolled up.
Okay,
but,
yeah, we're still
but yeah,
following
Angelina,
on.
if I missed it, let us know who specifically you would follow.
Sonia said Din Djarin.
And Baby Grogu and Bo-Katan. Well, all the
yeah.
Mandalorians. Nice.
Yeah, good stuff.
The whole squad's KG.
Din Djarin can be inspiring to follow. And honestly, one of the brighter spots of season 3 was when he just starts running it down like forward, like he's paving the way. Like when they're in at Mandalore, like fighting against the troopers with the Beskar armor. That's like a pretty decent scene, at least as far as like the music and emotion. Like he's running it down. He's leading all of the Mandalorians there.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, he is a
for everyone and that kind of thing.
Side tangent real quick here. Sorry. Do you think in the movie we might see Din Djarin take more of a leadership role in The Mandalorian there, Biz? What do you think?
Like you're saying, potentially he might take the Bo-Katan role almost, or like, what do you mean?
Yeah, maybe. Like, I don't know. Maybe not necessarily Mandalore. I would prefer that, to be honest, if he became Mandalore. But maybe, I don't know, General to Mandalore or something like that might step into the the co-role with her.
I think he's one of those leaders where if he becomes a leader, it's not because he chose to, it's because other people put him in that spot. It's like, he's not, I think he has the qualities to be a leader, but I don't think he wants to be a leader. So do I think it will happen? Not necessarily, but because I feel like it's just going to be more of a Din and Grogu are doing their own thing type of movie, kind of more akin to like a season 1, like 3-episode arc made into a movie kind of movie.
Yeah. I hope they give us more than that. I know from what we've been teased and stuff online, they're talking about it will be probably closer to that. But he is such the reluctant leader that I feel like he would end up doing a great job, and it would be a natural progression of the story for that character. At least in my opinion, I feel like it would be more satisfying. But satisfying and what we actually get in Star Wars, those are two very different things. So yes, you are probably correct. It will just be more of like a long episode.
Yeah,
movie.
and honestly, that's fine if it's fun, if it's a good experience. That's really all they kind of need right now, just a good experience. Tease a little bit. It sounds like it probably is going to connect to, that'll be the first movie and then connect to Dave Filoni's movie and like Ahsoka season 2. So maybe have some connections in there, reintroduce characters. Like, to be honest, they kind of, with Book of Boba Fett and Mando season 3, they kind of severed viewership a little bit with the whole Mandalorian. So I think their goal is to try to bring a little bit more of the casuals back with this kind of movie. So then they can do a trilogy with this. And in that, Din Djarin could certainly take a bigger role. I feel like he could almost take like, not because I want Luke Skywalker also to be in it, but Luke should be at a different role at this point of his career, higher up. But like Din could almost take a Luke Skywalker a New Hope, where he's like making an impact on the battlefield essence, like in his ship. Like I want to see more of that Naboo fighter. Like if they're up against Thrawn, what if he's actually going crazy against some of their Star Destroyers and TIEs and stuff?
That would be awesome. Like even like if he's like leading a squad, in that battle,
because he could certainly be a leader in that. Like he should be.
Yeah, maybe he more joins the the New Republic. I could see him joining the New Republic as like a reluctant leader in the New Republic of a general going up against Thrawn potentially, or one of the commanders.
Like that's a commander role might fit him. But
yeah, great point, man. The thing about it is, like, it's a movie and it's a Star Wars movie. There's a lot riding on this movie in a lot of ways. I just really hope they've thought it through for the bigger picture with what's to come. And, you still got to wow us to a degree, like it's got to be a fun time. First and foremost, it's got to be fun and it's got to be solid, like just a solid movie on its own. If you tease too much without delivering enough, that's the thing that might throw some people off. But I mean, that has worked with a lot of movies. It still has to be self-contained and big enough and wow enough people to want to see the next Star Wars movie that's coming out in theaters. It's crazy how much is riding on this movie, to be honest with you. Like, I would be feeling the pressure if I was in Lucasfilm right now.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair. I mean, it's been since pre-COVID time since they've had a movie. Obviously, this next one's going to be big and definitely telling of where the Star Wars brand is actually at. I feel like it's hard to tell, especially with a mix of some good shows, some really bad shows, to really kind of see where we're at with the recent success of Andor. Andor did well on the Nielsen charts and certainly was trending to some extent. But then I saw some more numbers that were kind of making me a little bit conflicted. That, I mean, part of the Nielsen numbers were due to, that's a 3-episode drop and they do it off minutes. So although it was doing well, as far as view count, it's at the level of like Ahsoka, to be honest, just to be quite frank. But like it's good. Like, it certainly was good and that will continue to grow. But that's still showing like their best show. It did well. Like, a lot of people watched it, but not as much as you might think, though, which is unfortunate.
Even something in Star Wars that's that good or that great is still, unfortunately, if you look at the numbers as a whole, like you're saying, with the 3 episodes and the watch time, minutes or whatever, however they break it down, you're right. It's about the same as Ahsoka.
Is it Andor?
Andor season 2, yeah. We kind of pivoted there.
Probably also because, I mean, they kind of excluded some of the audience, being that it's not for kids.
That's true.
So that doesn't
help. But the funny thing about Andor,
that's factored in.
Yeah, the funny thing about Andor season 1 was it didn't do that great view wise, but it grew over time. Whereas I feel like Andor 2 is kind of doing the same thing. I don't think it's going to hit those peak numbers, but I think just the majority of fans over time are going to see it, and it's going to be more steady. I think.
Yeah, it's like the only show that's actually gained viewership as it's gone, so that's obviously a win. Oh, nice. It's still just like, relative, though. It's like, okay, It's gaining viewership, but it's still not towards that peak. That's not necessarily great, but honestly, Andor is a very complete show. And I've never said anything about Andor. I've always been an Andor fan since day one.
Exactly. We totally agree.
Currently rewatching Andor with my parents. We just finished the Aldhani arc. So we're moving on to Narkina 5. So looking forward to that. But and that's one of those things too. It's kind of frustrating when they come out with these shows that they only have ideas for season 1, because you kind of have to go into a lot of these shows, like, unless it's like Skeleton Crew can live on its own, kind of like a season 1, like a show like that. But a lot of these shows that are kind of feel half baked, it almost feels like they only really thought about season 1 and wanted to see how well it did. So then the writing later on kind of falters. But Andor season 2, they clearly knew what they wanted, or just Andor overall. So I didn't like season 1 when I first watched it. And now that I've watched the whole thing and I'm rewatching, I can start to appreciate every aspect of it, and every little character that, and the first time I watched, I'm like, I don't even want to see this character. What am I even watching here? Right. Now, is it perfect? Yeah. No, not necessarily, but it's really good writing, and it's been really good to rewatch it too.
Yeah, and the end, kind of justifies a lot of the time. Like, if you have a solid ending that things lead to and lead well to, then you can enjoy going back and watching it again, because you're like, oh, this pays off now. It's not just a no going nowhere situation. So that helps. Yeah. That really helps. Ending strong really helps.
Yeah, just the little details. I mean, I should know the character's name, of course. I just watched it by forgetting. But the one with the diary, just the little detail towards the very end of the show in the ISB with them reading that. It's like, that's so far along.
Yeah, that's just his manifesto.
His manifesto.
Oh shoot!
Nemec?
Nimic. Yeah, Nimic's manifesto. Yeah,
Okay.
great. Sorry.
Nice.
I
But,
finally
yeah.
thought of it. Yeah.
That's great,
Okay.
man. I know there's so much there. We got to jump back right into. I know we were kind of the chat was answering.
There's some great answers.
There's some great
you guys
answers.
are like.
We're gonna run through them quickly. So I do like this one. We have to say, imagine Darth fact checker picked Anakin. We had to put Matt's answer there.
Well,
So
then follow up with Skylark saying #follow the handsome a fact checker. It doesn't hurt. I'm just saying.
I knew it. I knew he was lying. I'm just kidding.
Yep. It was a front. It was a front. We all knew what was going on. I'm surprised you didn't say Ben Swallow, honestly.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to clarify with Angelina as well.
I think she did
following?
answer, but we'll get to that. Skylark said she'd definitely trust and follow Yoda's leadership. And then Tmerkins
Yeah.
called you out, Dustin, for your face when it spoke for itself.
Look,
when
whenever you said Ahsoka, you threw it. It was part of it was because you threw me a curveball there, and I wasn't expecting it.
I just
okay?
opened the door. You walked into it.
But I did clarify.
Dustin, don't even try. Don't
Exactly.
even try.
I clarified that it was.
All right,
It's
we'll
not
move
working.
on.
Yeah, you're right.
Right,
Let's move
no,
on.
I was just-
I'm already in the doghouse. Might as well not go to the pound.
Okay, Matt also said Yoda is his pick. And then
Great minds think alike.
and he followed it up with somewhere. Too bad Kenobi and Yoda both failed when it mattered the most. Ouch.
Ooh, dang. That does.
But then he also said it's interesting nobody has chosen Luke.
Yeah, well, part of the problem there is I just don't feel like we've really had a chance to see like leader Luke.
Well, yeah, Take a Break Mate said Luke is good to lead a fighter squadron, not lead entire armies into battle.
Well, and that's
We just didn't see it.
Well, that's why I think they did it dirty. Again, for the sequels, for me personally, we didn't get to see. I wanted to see that in the sequels. And if you want more leader Luke, I feel like the Thrawn trilogy and more the expanded universe gives you a lot more of that. And I would pick maybe more him, but I was sticking with more, live action or stuff that we've seen canon. What else? I know there's a lot more here. Fact checker. We'll hit a few more and then we got to move on.
Yep. So Take a Break Mate said Kiadi Mundi, bring Chopper. The first rule of war is have fun.
Bring Chopper. Oh man, that's funny. Yes.
And then Tmerkin said I'd follow Rex into battle.
Ooh,
That's a good answer.
that is a really good one. Nailed that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
For the Republic.
He is inspiring. He's really inspiring too, Rex. And he's he's like the kind of commander that like puts himself first. He's a leader. He's not just a boss. He's somebody that's like, on me. I'm going to be running out. Like he learned from Anakin, That's why they work so well together. So
Lead by example.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my goodness. What else? Did we miss anything else? We should probably keep
I
moving,
think just
but I'm sure
lastly-
you guys all had some amazing things here.
Yeah, yep. Lastly, I think Angelina was basically saying Ahsoka is, but that's not sequels.
Woo!
So I don't know.
no, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No. I was gonna say also Kanan would probably be good. But.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Especially later Kanan as well. I mean,
Yeah.
all of them for the most part. Almost every other later iteration other than Ahsoka. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. I should move on. I'm just going to keep digging this hole.
Yeah.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
then let's see. Oh, Carla jumped in. Good to see you.
What's up, Carla? Thanks for jumping in.
And then Hunter was replying to you, Dustin, about the doghouse. Did
Oh,
you see that?
I see it now. Embrace the doghouse, Dustin. It's where I live and I thrive. I do a lot of the time as well. I've really tried making it more homey feeling.
Did Hunter ever come around on Andor season 2, or is he still kind of like iffy on it?
I don't know.
I think he did. I think he ended up enjoying.
He's
I won't
been a
speak
little
for him,
silent.
but yeah.
He's been lurking a lot.
Yeah, like I said,
In the
I mean, I've been a
doghouse.
fan since day one, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
True,
think
true.
a few people
No doubt.
laughed and someone did a Blandor hashtag. I don't know, Biz.
Yeah,
Andor, no more.
Oh, that's right.
that rolled off the tongue a little too well. I just want to say.
Yeah. He's practiced that one.
This is
No,
default.
okay. There. Okay. Rewatching season 1, it's been great, but there have been a couple times where I've been like, okay, I got something to check on my phone right now, No, but no.
It's not
Um,
it's not without its flaws, for sure. That's the thing. I agree with you there.
But yeah, no, like that. Honestly, that's kind of a joke though. But like there's little things like they played like rock music at the end of an episode,
Yeah,
and it
weird.
really threw me off. I was like, okay, that's still that. Like I hated that. Like I still hate stuff like that. It's like you're throwing me out of the mix. But the writing and can appreciate some of the details. And I think initially when I was watching it, I was trying to see a lot more of the bad because I was already kind of turned off by the idea in general. And this time I'm trying to go in with a more open lens and liking season 2. I can see more of the like, oh, that's actually a good lore call out, and oh, that's good writing. I wasn't just saying, well, this is wrong and this is not Star Wars like. I'm seeing things that are Star Wars like too that I was missing the first time. But.
Yeah, a lot of it comes down to perspective and how you go into it. Sometimes it can be hard for Star Wars fans, especially right now, to go into a project without already having some sort of like predisposition. Like even for me, to be honest, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult for me to go into Ahsoka season 2 with a positive or a neutral outlook, but I'm going to do my darndest because I want it to succeed.
You better go with mine.
I do. I want it to succeed. And he better have a better arc for... He's going to bring back Marok. That's the only thing I want to see in season 2. Hashtag resurrect Marok again.
Oh my goodness.
Bring him back.
A gallon of Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, he's just literally in a bucket. It's just like dust in a bucket. You're like, dang.
Yeah, I think that ship is sailed, Dustin.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I can dream, and if that helps.
Hey, think about it. It is Disney Star Wars though. Anybody can if people can survive lightsaber stabs through the heart. Who's saying he can't be brought back? I mean, they got magic. I mean, got sorcerer magic. Yeah. Just put the pieces back together.
Yeah. That is a great point and a great segue even into the next segment of the show where we are going to be talking about something that somehow returned, and that will be Obi-Wan Season 2 rumored to somehow return. And we're going to be talking about it now. But before we do, I like to hit you with these butts. I will say we are very grateful to have Bismo on the show tonight. And if you haven't already, definitely head over to his channel and like, comment, subscribe to his channel. He's always got great stuff over there. He's been a great friend to us for many years now. And we just appreciate it if you guys show him some love. Spread it around to your friends as well because he's always got great content. We love it, and we love having you on, Bismo. So thank you again for coming on. Got to get you even more out there in the world. So
well, thank you very much, and yeah, happy we can continue doing this. I mean, heck, we're blessed to be able to continue these collaborations. So yeah, thankful for that, and thanks for having me back.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I am actually excited for Ahsoka season 2 because I feel like our predictions will come to fruition because Andor season 2 you ended up liking, so now it is up to me to end up liking Ahsoka season 2.
You
so
better hold up your end of the bargain.
I gotta hold up my end of the bargain. I'm not gonna be fake. Though. I mean, I gotta be real. But.
Yeah, no, it's got to be good. It's got to be good. I think it does come back to like again. Half of the battle with season 1 for me was like I wasn't that invested, but some of these characters, like once the writing, like a lot of the setup is done, and you get to the payoff, some of that other stuff can get better. And I've said from the start, Ahsoka season 1 is a setup, and that's just the reality. A lot of these shows are kind of a lot of setup, so they need to deliver. I hope they don't kind of like pull a 180 and just like it's completely different. I think you got to double down on what you were doing, but make it better. Like do what you were doing good and learn from what you were doing bad, basically. I think that's what Andor season 2 did. So follow that recipe.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great point. And a lot of it, clip it. A lot of that though and it depends on how it ends. So to be fair, I am going in minding my own business, open-minded because it depends on how it ends to justify what came before. So if the ending is super strong and all the things they set up in season 1 come to fruition and they do a really good job with that, then I will enjoy it, and it will make season 1 retroactively better.
Yeah. One caveat with that, though, as far as the ending, because it's a different case from Andor, because Andor, we know how it ends because it's, sectioned off in this little, 4-year gap right before Rogue One. That's, it's a prequel to a prequel. Right.
That's a good
so
point.
like, it has a finite ending spot, whereas with the current Star Wars story, Mando and Grogu movie, it's more realistic that Ahsoka will have an ending per se, but more of like a teaser to then connect to the next movie, the Heir to the Empire movie or something like that. With that being said, they can still wrap up some of the major ideas they did and conclude some of those arcs. So I think they need to, for sure, the writing needs to be good, so it needs to be quality. Like I think the quality needs to be the end, but they don't necessarily, they still are going to probably end up leaving it open ended compared to what Andor was.
Right, because it's not that hard cutoff that they have for Andor, which is Rogue One and then episode 4. So yeah, you have to end it at some point. Whereas Ahsoka season 2 could continue, obviously, and they're going to continue it on with
the movies. Oh
yeah, for sure. No, that's a great point. So it might not be as final as, say, Andor has to be. So,
but it still, regardless, needs to improve season 1. Like they need to do a good job and make some of the things they established, more finite. They got to improve the writing quality and some of the acting. I think the story's there. It's just you got to fine tune that acting and the writing. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and. For me, one of the bigger things is like make them likable. Make all the characters a little bit more likable, like the main characters. Give them a little bit more personality, like we're used to seeing with like Rebels. I kind of want to have more of that feeling of Rebels in it, with how the characters interact and stuff like that. So for me personally, but I think they'll do a good job. I think Dave's going to take a lot of that feedback that he got from season 1, and it was his first outing as well, doing live action. On him in the lead, so there does need to be some grace there, and even just regular TV shows in general usually take about 2 to 3 seasons, like if you're thinking back to like old TV, before they really started to get into the swing of things. So to be fair, we got to give it time. We got to let it marinate and complete its journey. But jumping into possibly completing a journey, and where are they going from here? We have Obi-Wan season 2 happening. Is it happening? It's been rumored. It's been heavily rumored online that they are in development right now. It might not come out for, what'd you say? It said around 5-6 years or something like that, potentially. Like that. I mean, again, this is rumor. We're in rumor
at least
territory
from
here.
when the first season aired.
Oh, I see.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. I should have said that earlier.
Oh, gotcha. So then only a couple. I mean, makes sense. For a lot of these projects, they're usually, if they're filming or working on stuff now, it's going to be another 2 years before we see it.
Yeah, because like in the article, it was saying Ahsoka season 2 is coming out 2 to 3 years after the first season. I don't know how that's going to math out, but
math it, baby.
But talking about these rumors with Obi-Wan season 2, it might be a little longer.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump into this. Bismo, hearing this news, how does it make you feel? Like, what's your initial gut reaction whenever you first heard about this? Were you like, were you excited? Were you nervous? Tell me, what's on your mind?
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
Nice.
Honestly, man, yeah.
Hang on, real quick. I just want to share this. Hilarious. Before the show, because we're flying without the pilot Dan. He'll be back, but I sent a message to Biz earlier. I said flying with only half the crew, or flying without the pilot is what I said. And Bismo sent the perfect meme back as Obi-Wan Kenobi saying, "Not to worry, still flying half a ship." Impeccable. I'm just saying, you guys don't even get to see the behind the scenes stuff and how excellent he is, even with his memes. So, chef's kiss and hats off to you. Sorry, I'll let you continue now.
I'll keep the hat on, but
no, that's fine.
Get your high ground hat at the Stand Target store. So but okay. My honest thoughts though are, so season 1, me and Obi-Wan season 1, it's kind of a tragedy for me. It's just because it's my favorite character, favorite actor, and I wanted more out of it. I mean, we got a cut up movie that was like recut up a couple times. That was given like, I don't know, $200 of budget or something like that. Fun fan film. Yeah, but honestly, season 2 though, how I see it is like, if it first off, is it going to come to fruition? Like, I don't even, what's Star Wars record as far as announced shows and movies versus produced? It's probably less than 50% at this point. So, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. First off, if it's 5 to 6 years out, they haven't said much on that. I could see it happening. Obviously, Ewan, what am I saying? Wants to is going to want to act more. I actually would be excited if they did it, just because in my eyes, a lot of season 1 doesn't exist. So I could look, if they actually do season 2 how I wanted to do season 1, that could be fun. Like I mean, him to be on Tatooine, training with the Force Ghost, training, and maybe they teased that at the end with Qui-Gon, but I wanted to see more about the very nerdy stuff, and maybe some meditation and flashbacks, and potentially also you could have a little bit of Vader's story in there as well. Like there's room for that as well with Hayden Christensen as well. Potentially some flashbacks, or just him reminiscing, or even just Vader. But let's make sure to focus on the Obi-Wan and the characters that are relevant to Obi-Wan as well. His job is to protect Luke and to continue his training. So that's what I want to see. I would be excited if it comes out, and they still could do a good job. In my eyes, I would consider it season 1. That's my honest thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. One of my favorite parts of season 1 of Kenobi was the end. I was so happy whenever, well, spoilers, it was mostly because of a character that shows up at the end. And I'm like, they should have just started this whole season, to your point. They should have just started it right there. And then we should have just forgot about all the rest of it. Yeah, so I'm right there with you, man. I agree. There's so much potential for Obi-Wan. That was the saddest part about the season 1, was there was so much potential and so much greatness that so many people were looking forward to that for absolute years. It was crazy how long we were looking forward to that movie, to a show, to all this stuff. It was like, and the hype for that specifically, just Obi-Wan in general, everybody was over the moon. I mean, that was the main project that everybody was looking forward to whenever Disney bought it. We were like, okay, we're getting the sequels, but at least we're getting Obi-Wan. And everybody's like, yeah, Obi-Wan. Every time Obi-Wan happened, it was like we were over the moon excited. And I think they could do it justice. It does make me a little nervous, to your point. I hope they learned from season 1, and I hope they actually make it about Obi-Wan, and I hope they keep it. I actually want to see a more contained, with him dealing with some other stuff from the past. I think would have been a little bit better, but keep it self-contained on Tatooine. I think there's a big enough story that you could go there. I've heard rumors of Jarad Het, which is the Tusken like Sith/Jedi type thing with the Tuskens, which there's a deep lore there. If you've never read the Kenobi book, the book Kenobi, that is self-contained on Tatooine and is absolutely fantastic. I mean, so much drama, so many good elements, and it gets pretty epic. So I would love to see that, and I think there could be some room in Darth Vader, but I think that ship has sailed. I wouldn't suggest going back to that unless it's, like you said, flashbacks specifically.
Yeah, no, I don't want them. I do not want them. I do not want them meeting again. They shouldn't have the first time. And honestly, my honest thoughts on the whole thing is, looking back on it 5 to 10 years ago, before the first one came out, I would have said, don't even do this show. But now that they've done the show, the first season, it was poor and they broke canon. You almost, at this point, I'm like, yeah, you already kind of screwed it up. Try to at least do some justice for the character and create some better scenes. I mean, besides the inadequate story, the sheer quality of acting and camera work and cinematography is pathetic, and it's embarrassing. Yes. That's the most frustrating part. There's some fun parts in it, like there's fun flashback, Vader versus Obi-Wan in the end. It's fun, but it's nothing more than kind of a fan film-esque story that. I mean, there's fan films and what ifs with better writing, to be honest, but yeah, it's just not what we're looking for, and you just don't take a movie, chop it up, repurpose it, like. But yeah, to my point though, because season 1 was what it was at this point, yeah, try to do season 2, try to do it well. Let's see his training, and yeah, let's keep it self-contained, and maybe we can move past season 1.
Yeah, and the reason I bring up the Kenobi book is because they actually bring in a love interest for Kenobi, and they have lots of interesting things, and he feels like such a Kenobi arc there with Kenobi and how he acts and how it builds to something with him struggling to not be a Jedi but still want to help. That's a big internal conflict he has. And then there's the people of Tatooine, but also, like I said, the love interest there, it really encapsulates so much, and it still ties into the larger galaxy, just not as much. It's not actually focused so much on Luke as much as it is Obi-Wan having to overcome certain things to lead him, and I think it bridges the gap better between episode 3 and 4 and who he becomes. And at the end of that, you really understand better where he's at when you're going into episode 4. And I think that would be a better bridge there, a better gap, and to explore more emotions with Kenobi and with Ewan, because he's such a good actor. It was such a waste that they did that bait and switch with him, and they didn't make it about him, and he didn't do that much. That was the most depressing part about the whole show. And give him like something to do, like give him something more. And that's why I say, if I were to suggest with anybody with a Lucasfilm, do the Kenobi. It could still be done. Honestly, it could still be done. And that's why it's so well orchestrated, and the book is so well done, how they tie it all together. But do we know I don't think they've even announced who's doing it. And if you had to pick, Biz, who would you want, since we didn't absolutely love who did the first season? Who do you think would be a good choice to direct the second season, or a movie potentially?
I don't know about I don't know as far as directors, but I guess to produce and write, I would want Ewan, and if Vader is in it and and Hayden or Anakin is in it with flashbacks or whatever, honestly, just give it to those two, and maybe Dave Filoni, but then you got to get somebody that actually knows how to, condense it. But honestly, I would kind of nervous at this point to even trust what some of these, like, everyone wants to make, like, you give it to some big Hollywood person, they see Kenobi, they want to make this big project that's going to do well. And to be honest, like, the story I'm requesting might not even do that well, but it might still be good, though. I guess not everybody necessarily is going to want to learn about Force Ghosts and where they go and whatnot, but I feel like you need somebody that actually knows the lore to do something like that. And if that's not the case, then I don't want it. I don't want another, all right, we're having Obi-Wan and Vader fight now for a third time. It's going to be even more epic. It's going to make A New Hope even that much better. Think about it. It's gonna, like, they fought 4 times.
Did you get Dragon Ball feel whenever they fought in the first season, like the rocks and everything? I was like, what is what am I watching right now? I feel like we just switched over from Star Wars into like Dragon Ball combo. It was crazy. I was like, what is happening?
It was very, like, that was like, it was I honestly, that was kind of like the funnest part, but it was also so uncanon, and it doesn't even follow the lore as far as, like, Kenobi is not a very, like, realistically, he's not that crazy with the Force anyway, so it's just wild. It's just wild,
crazy.
And
stuff,
honestly,
man.
there's way worse plot holes than that. That, like, quite frankly, the writing and my what ifs are better. And I'm not even gonna say my what ifs are necessarily good, but, like, it's so frustrating watching certain parts where I'm like, you're telling me they didn't think about that, like when Reva is chasing down freaking Kenobi, and they, like,
the free running.
The free running. Yeah. Oh no. It's just that. It's all right.
Chasing kids scenes like multiple times.
It's pain. It's painful.
It is very painful. I mean, it's hard to, like, even think back on it, because it still just hurts thinking about how bad it was.
Yeah, it's sad to say that.
I know. It's sad. We want it to be great. It's not that we don't, and we're not really trying to be super negative about it, but
it's just reality. That's what it is.
Like,
it's a D or F tier show. Like, it's bad. It's bad television. It's just straight up really bad television.
And that's almost hard to do with such a great character as Obi-Wan. Like, you basically have to go out of your way to make it that bad. I mean, Ewan was still great in it, but like the small scenes, like Hayden got, like, his acting in that moment, like, it's good, but it's still, it doesn't make, he doesn't, what are we even doing though? Like, it's emotional. There's emotional scenes in it, but it doesn't even make sense. And not just going around the gate. Yes. Plot holes like that. Even
that's the one. Yeah, that's the other one I was talking about. Like, that literally, I'm like, in my what ifs, I think about little things like that, and it's like, I probably have a slightly better solution, but they just ignore it. They just ignore it. Like, the fans won't catch something like that. It doesn't really matter. Like, All right.
Yeah, that was like it was a show made by someone who like knew nothing about Star Wars basically, and the detail, like this, not detail oriented. They're like, it doesn't matter what we do as long as we get from point A to point B. Who cares along the way? But you're like, no, this is Star Wars. You need people there to be like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
and
some checks
the
and
budget
balances.
they gave them too was just criminal too. It's just the whole thing about it's frustrating. It was like $70 to $80 million budget, and it's like, all right, we're giving that much money for Kenobi. Like, this is Kenobi. Like, come on, man.
I still push back on that a little bit, just for the fact that in the United States, since it was filmed in the United States, they don't have to release how much money they actually spent on the show, which
So
actually might make it worse.
More
yes, I know they might have spent they might have spent
bad.
more, and that's
So
worse.
bad.
Yeah, but yeah, to your point, they should have put a lot of money into it and got the right people to do the job. I think the biggest problem is just didn't have the right people to doing the job, and they did not make it well. Anyway, so but Kenobi season 2 happening could be great. Nervous as heck because I mean, let's be honest, the first season was garbage. It hurts me to say that, but it was.
Yeah, you want a high action scene? This is the camera. This is the camera you're going to be getting during it. Like
yeah, exactly. Shaky cam.
Like
decisions,
just
man.
randomly, like
yeah, the decisions in it were just not. It was not a Star Wars. It just was not a Star Wars property. Like it is a fan film. I do view it more as like a, and that's. There's some fantastic fan films. That's almost a disservice to fan films out there because there are some amazing fan films that feel way more Star Wars than that. So. But as far as like budget wise, stuff like that, you're like, what? Yeah. Who made this? Anyway, but season 2, I don't know. Who knows if it's even going to happen at this point. So,
but I think it's interesting. You know, as soon as like you hear the news, I still get excited. Just despite the potential train wreck it was a train wreck of the first season. So, and then we've got a poll going in the chat and. 83% said they would want Kenobi season 2.
Yeah, and
at this point, it couldn't get worse. Let's do it.
That's true.
That's a great point. Yeah, and there's always the chance that it may be redeemed. There's always the chance that they learn from it, and Star Wars fans, the ones that are still hanging around, are the hopeful bunch. That want to see it get better. Not that others aren't, but I mean like. We still have hope. Because that's what Star Wars is always about, is hope. So we hope that a season 2 of Obi-Wan could be absolutely fantastic. And it could. And it has all the makings right there. You could totally wipe the floor with everything else if you did it right. Yeah. So
we just want good Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But I think we've covered that quite well. Let's move on here to another topic, which is a little different than what we normally go and talk about on this show. Usually it's all Star Wars, but we're gonna pivot just slightly, and we won't talk about it for too long because I know it might not interest everybody. But this is one of my favorite books. It is still hard science fiction, which just means they really actually go into the science of it. Now, it being a movie, I'm not sure how much they will, but the book is called Project Hail Mary. I would not necessarily suggest this for kids, not that there's like terrible stuff in it, but I mean, there's a few swear words and stuff like that, but nothing else that's really inappropriate or anything like that. So, but it is a very well written hard science fiction. So by hard science fiction, that means that the technology that's used in the book, also going to be in the movie, is based on real science that we have. So not that it's necessarily been done, obviously, but that we have the technology to do it if we took it to that extreme. And the book is absolutely amazing. It's one of my all-time favorite books. I've listened to it, to be fair, Audible, multiple times, probably like 5 times I've listened to this book because it's so good. I'm actually currently re-listening to it now just because I was so excited that the trailer dropped. I do have some thoughts on the trailer. Go ahead, Biz. Sorry, I'm just
like that good. That makes me want to check this out because I read the premise and it sounds, I'm a big space kind of like this a science fiction space kind of story, right?
Yeah, and that's why it kind of fits in with Star Wars in some ways, but it's more like Earth-based, obviously, and stuff like that. So, and with the hard science fiction, even to your more expertise, that's why I think you would actually really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's why it sounds interesting. Yeah, Plus, I don't know. Yeah, I have a degree in aeronautical engineering, but so yeah. But that sounds Yeah, but can
It's
you
right up.
explain the like? You can maybe not spoil, but just tell me the main premise, I guess.
Yeah,
it's a
Or
synopsis.
spoil it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to spoil some of it. Also, the one gripe I actually did have of the trailer was that I personally felt like they gave too much away. And that was one of the great things about the book was it didn't give anything away. And when as you're reading, you're like discovering things. And the way they write the film is it's from the story is not necessarily linear. It is, but I don't want to give too much away, but he doesn't know what's happening in the beginning. I'm just going to say that much. And that's what makes the book so interesting because you're learning along with him as the story goes. So
The trailer was kind of like that at the beginning.
yes, in some ways.
Is how they started it.
They did, but unfortunately, I felt like they gave too much away. I understand it's a movie and they have to promote the heck out of it, so they got to show you some of it.
And the same author as The Martian.
Yes,
and
it
I'm
is.
definitely a fan
Andy
of
Weir.
Andy
Yeah,
Weir,
well,
yep.
Then
Did you
kinda-
read that or watch that?
I watched it multiple. That's a really great movie.
The book is even better because he does actually.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it, which you'd think it sounds boring, but he actually explains the science. He does the math in the book, and like that sounds really boring, but actually,
it sounds exciting. Now I want to see if his work's right.
yeah, and that's the thing, and he does such a good job with it, and he still keeps the humor there. Like it's funny with real consequences and with technology that could actually happen, and that's what's so fun about those books that he did. The Martian was absolutely fantastic. I love that book, and then he came out with Project Hail Mary, and I loved it even more than The Martian. So that's why I'm so excited to talk about it. But yeah, he's kind of there's something that happens to the Earth's sun, and it's actually affecting a lot of the galaxies around and all the suns that are close by, except for this one. And so it's having some crazy effects. It's actually called it's funny because it's like global cooling, actually. And he's actually I don't want to give away too much, but he's a teacher. They show this in the trailer.
Yeah.
If you watch the trailer,
Yeah, okay.
he's a teacher, but his backstory a little bit there was he was also he scientifically
Yeah, he was like a doctorate or something.
yeah,
in
and he did a thesis.
science
He
something.
did a thesis basically on. I feel like I'm giving away a lot here.
On the premise of the movie.
Yeah, in some ways. Well, and how he thinks that you don't necessarily have to have water for there to be life. That was his thesis.
Interesting.
And so he had some really interesting scientific molecular biologist, and he's one of the best ones. And it's fascinating, but it's also like if you know The Martian, it's humorous, and he does a great job being funny in this film, and you're learning along with him. I don't know, have you guys seen what's the name of the movie? It's a Christopher Nolan movie, Memento, where he has short-term memory loss or something like that, where and the movie's basically coming to the middle, like you're learning the end, but you're also learning along with him. And it's an interesting trope that you can do, but that's what happens in this book. And it's about space travel, space flight, but it's also about trying to save humanity. And he's one of the only ones who can do it. And you learn a lot of interesting things along the way, and you learn about him, and you're learning it with him as it's progressing. And it just keeps things so interesting and so fascinating because, again, it's more hard science fiction. So he does do the math for you, and it's plausible. It's all practical, plausible, could happen. I don't know if I'm explaining this quite as well, but
in the meantime, I went on to Spotify and it says included with premium the audiobook. So I might
nice,
have to
dude.
try it out during my commute.
Yes, yeah. So it captures my imagination, but he does such a good job. And I will say that I wish they wouldn't, but they showed the alien in the trailer.
Didn't show much, did they? I saw her hands.
Yeah, they didn't show much, but just that alone was such a surprise in the book because in The Martian, you'd think he would have an alien on Mars, but he never does that. He never goes that route. And that's what was so fascinating actually in this book. I just was not expecting it at all. And then the alien shows up and you're like, what the heck? How is this still hard science fiction? But the way he describes the alien and the hurdles they have to go through just to communicate and learn, and it's so fascinating. And their chemistry together is almost what sells the whole thing. So it seems silly, but it's written in such a more hopeful way than like scary. It's not scary in any way. It's like it's so fun and funny between the two of them, and I'm just so excited to see them like explore in the movie. And what do you guys think about Ryan Gosling, especially since he's going to be in the Starfighter? So it's funny he's going to be in two star. Yeah, go ahead, Biz.
Yeah, I have a few comments on that. Actually, Dustin, can you do me a favor and continue carrying the show for a second? I got to run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right
no,
back.
Sure. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
No, you're good, man. But So yeah, he's going to be in Starfighter, Star Wars Starfighter, which I mean they say they're working on, but again, we don't even know if that's going to happen. But it did seem quite plausible that they were going to come out with that. I didn't really care so much for Ryan Gosling in the past. Not that I disliked him in any way, but he was more like promoted out there as like the girl heartthrob.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like he appealed necessarily to guys in a lot of ways because he was promoted as that. The thing that actually turned it around for me in some ways was the movie Fall Guy. I didn't watch it in theaters or anything like that. My wife and I watched it later, and it is actually a hilarious rom-com, and he does humor very well in that movie, and that has actually won me over for him being in this movie and even in Starfighter, depending on how they depict him in there. But I think watching this trailer, I was pleasantly surprised. I think he's going to absolutely nail the role. Mm-hmm. And we also have Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who did the Spider-Verse, which some of the best Spider-Man movies ever made was, Miles Morales and the Spider-Verse. Both those movies are amazing, and I can't wait for the third one. But they also did, I think Phil Lord, they were going to do a Star Wars movie, funny enough, and that was actually the Han Solo movie, but they didn't see eye to eye. That's one of the failed projects right there with KK, although she did end up having Ron Howard come in and finalize it and finish the movie, basically reshoot it because she didn't agree with what Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I want to see Phil Lord and Chris Miller version. They also did one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. That movie is absolutely epic. And so funny. They know how to do serious with humor. And that's why I think they're a perfect fit for Project Hail Mary. And if you haven't seen some of their other work, I would highly suggest going and watching some of their other fantastic work out there. Like I just said, all the things I just said. But Fact Checker, I know you haven't seen or heard or you know nothing of this.
Nope.
With me describing some of it, does it sound interesting to you at all?
Yeah, and I watched the trailer, and I have no context, so I wouldn't have known it. Might give too much away. So to me, it did look interesting because there was an end to, or there's, some space travel movies. They're just floating in space, and I don't know. It gets really boring to me if it's just like a single person movie the whole time or the majority of the time.
Right.
So I was kind of happy to see that there was an alien. There was something else he was interacting with because it looked like he was like doing a vlog, and he probably wasn't communicating with anyone back at Earth. Is my assumption. I have no clue if that's right or wrong, but. But
wait, what did I miss? Hunter Davis, you're saying, and
yeah.
people still say you're not a Sith at Fact Checker.
With your uncalled for bullying.
What happened?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Who did you bully? I might have missed it as well.
I mean, I was recommending that you check with Kindle, see if they have a Dr. Seuss version of this book.
Oh, wow. So,
hey, shots were fired at me first, is all I'm saying.
What? When?
We
never talking about.
We never fire at you.
You guys stop gaslighting me.
What?
Doth Fact Checker.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think about Ryan Gosling, though?
What do I think about Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, take it, Bismo.
Yeah, what do you think about Ryan Gosling?
He's a great actor. What I'm concerned about, though, obviously, is when's the release date of this?
March of next year, March 2020th. Sorry, of 2026.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not as concerned then. At first, I was like, there's scheduling conflicts with this, Starfighter, but no, that sounds like it could line up because with Starfighter, they made it sound like they're like, we're actually going to do it. So they can say that as much as they want, but it really sounded like they were going to do it, and to bring a big actor like that out on the stage, I feel like you're really committing there, but
I mean,
yeah, we'll see. They've done similar. Yeah. So.
And the funny thing about that, so the trailer, when that dropped, did you see all the comments in the trailer just being like, oh, another Star Wars movie that's not happening? It was like all of them were that. I was like, oh my goodness, people are roasting this.
Oh, yeah.
Although it does,
I mean,
it does seem like you bring out those two names for the guy who did Deadpool and then Ryan Gosling. I mean, they are still probably two of the biggest. Sean Levy, so, two of the biggest. So I mean,
I don't know how they convinced him to do it, but yeah,
I mean,
if those two are saying they're going to do it for their reputation, they're going to do it. So I'd say that project has a higher chance than obviously other ones, but we'll see until we actually get if it's still at this point until it's released or it's in theaters for any Star Wars project, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yep. Perfect. Exactly. I completely agree with you 100%. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, you're going to really like this book though, Biz. I think you'd absolutely enjoy it. And the fun thing about it, to your point, fact checker, is that it keeps it very interesting because there's a ton of flashbacks, but the way that the flashbacks happen are interesting.
And that's how
in
it
their
explains
own
what's going on.
Right. So you do get more interactions with others, but it's in a different timeline situation going on. So it keeps it very interesting, and that's why, because The Martian was fun enough, but there was a lot of that movie where it was just him as like a vlog for a lot of it. You ever seen The Martian?
Nope.
Oh my goodness!
What?
Wow. I mean, remember some sci-fi is.
You're gonna have to watch that. That is
doesn't
fantastic.
Get on my list very easily.
Yeah.
But I'll watch it. I mean, maybe we should do a watch along.
Yeah,
I'll guarantee it.
And you liked but didn't love. I gotta say this because we watched Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Yeah.
She liked it but didn't love it.
Yeah. What does Bismarck think about it? Not about me not liking it, but the movie.
I think it's bad that you dislike it. No. Spaceballs is good. Spaceballs is a great parody. Very fun time.
It was
not for kids.
It was very clever. Yeah, no, there's a lot of, witty and
witty banter,
well put together scenes and connections to Star Wars. So I can appreciate all of that. It's not my humor.
Okay.
I think it's a little much.
I think this humor you would actually like. I think Project Hail Mary you'd like, and I would suggest you listen to it or read it. I think you would actually enjoy it.
I got a very long car ride tomorrow, so I might listen to see how far I get in. If I can remember.
Yeah, do it, man.
Nice.
It's worth it for sure. Like I said, I've listened to it multiple times. My wife listened to it too, who's not a huge hard science fiction fan either. I mean, she does like science fiction, and she ended up enjoying it quite a bit. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and that's what it's well done. It's well written, and I hope they keep it faithful to the story. Like I said, it was hard for me watching the trailer because I felt like they gave away too much, and I think it would have been better just to be surprised with a lot of these things. But I understand it's different for a movie than it is for a book. But Pizza the Hut. But I do see also Matt Ersman says Project Hail Mary could actually be released tomorrow if they wanted. The movie is finished.
Yeah, why wait?
I don't know. Scheduling.
They
They're probably
promotions?
It's probably for promotion's sake, and then they're probably still. I would think they're still maybe trying to polish up some of the special effects. I mean, that's usually what they're doing for a long time up until the movie's released. But I mean, they could be done already, especially to your point, Bismo, that they're working on right now from the sounds of it, and possibly even filming here soon for Starfighter. So yeah, interesting stuff there. I hope you guys check it out though. Sorry, I know this is a little different thing that we're covering.
Well, it sounds like quite a few people have read it or heard about it, or they like The Martian. So, so it's not unknown.
It fits the vibe, and also we got to be realistic. There's not a whole lot of We're in the Star Wars lull now for the next year or so. So we got to find other things to talk about.
It'll be kind of competing with, not necessarily, but kind of competing with Mando, because Mando comes out next year.
Yeah, that would be tough if they went head to head, but.
I don't think they're at the same time, but yeah.
Yeah, it's May versus March, but it's
right.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, at this point, it's like you gotta take what you can get. Disney, you're going. A lot of these brands have grown while you've shrunk, so just what it is.
And I think they could learn some lessons even from Andy Weir and how he writes. I mean, he's just a very good writer, and I think with that kind of attention to detail and the way he writes, I really think they could use that in Star Wars right now. So it would go hand in hand, and maybe and maybe Ryan Gosling filming Project Hail Mary going into Star Wars Starfighter. He might be taking some of what he learned from Project Hail Mary into this and having even more for suggestions on how to keep it as accurate or as faithful, or have those attention to detail. So it could be really great. So I'm looking forward to it. I highly recommend it to everybody, not necessarily kids, but all the adults watching everything like that. I would highly recommend it. It's well worth a listen or read, if whichever one you want to do. But I do think the movie is going to do absolutely well. I think it's probably going to blow most other movies out next year, just because.
Yeah, that would be an interesting question. I'm curious if this movie will do more at the box office than Mando and Grogu or not.
Yeah,
because I haven't heard of it. Like, I'm sure that it sounds like it's going to be good. I mean, Matt's saying they want it to win Best Picture, so
I could see that.
People like to watch good movies, but
I can see that. Yeah, although I don't know, like Phil Lord and Chris Miller, like Best Picture, they're more comedy, known for comedy, so it'll be difficult. But I could see it happening, and it'll be interesting to see how it does stack up against Star Wars. Let's move into our last topic here, which is Battlefront 3 with Bismo, which we've been leading this whole time to. We are following the General Bismo to this topic. We might be taking some questions here. I do see you, Angelina, asking about questions.
Yeah.
If we get a chance, we will. But otherwise, we'll be doing more of that in the follow-up stream. But let's jump into Battlefront Season 3. Bismo, you had an incredible...
Season 3.
Oh, sorry. Did I say seasons? I'm sorry. Battlefront 3, the game. Switch modes here. You had a fantastic video on this. I absolutely enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought your breakdown was very well done, even going back to the original Battlefront games, which I appreciated, and are still to this day some of the best games ever made, in my personal opinion.
True that.
So catch us up here on this Battlefront 3. What's going on, man? I know you're heading the charge.
Well, yeah, certainly not heading the charge, but doing my part to hashtag make Battlefront 3. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. All of a sudden, towards the end of Andor Season 2, I mean, Star Wars was in a good place, at least online, like numbers-wise, Andor, whatever. There was tweets going on, and then, I still haven't found the start of what actually started this craziness, but Battlefront 2, everybody's hopping back on the game on social media, on Instagram, Twitter. You see people saying, "Hop back on, give us Battlefront 3," and to do that, let's start playing Battlefront 2 to just show how many of them there are. The actor that plays, what's his name? In Andor Season 2, he like the kid
Willman.
Willman. Yeah, Willman.
Yeah,
he posted on his Instagram story showing that he's played like 500 hours of Battlefront and hashtag make Battlefront 3. And long story short, Battlefront 2 broke its all-time player count. And this game released in 2017, and it just blew its all-time player count out of the water across all platforms, Steam, all platforms. And honestly, it's done it again, and it seems to be growing, if anything. Like, it's not like tapering off. So a ton of people are playing it right now. It's super fun too, because when a lot of people are playing it, it doesn't take long to find matches, and there's a lot more variety and skill. It's not just a bunch of people that are very good at the game. There's a variety, so there's a little bit more, a little bit of that. But yeah, it's just been crazy. So, and it comes to like people want Battlefront 3 because Battlefront are some of the best, if not the best, Star Wars games. Arguably, they're probably the most popular, as all four of them. I mean, actually, there's technically more than four, because if you can consider the DS ones. But for those that didn't know, because a lot of people, and something I think I realized with making this video is now I kind of realized that a lot of people honestly aren't even that aware of the original Battlefronts, and those were like the best games. Those were the best games, that started it all back on the PS2. And they were going to make a Battlefront 3, and in my video I break it down. But they had a game for Battlefront 3 that was supposed to be for the PS3, Xbox 360, that was 99% complete until it was ultimately pulled the plug on. You can find gameplay of that on YouTube and whatnot of Battlefront 3. I kind of go more in depth, obviously, in the video, but it's kind
highly recommend go watch that video after this.
It's just really frustrating, because that honestly could have been one of the best games of all time, and realistically, and honestly, something I'm just asking for is like make that game on new like PS5, PS6 or whatever. make Battlefront 3. Make a new Battlefront 3. Like the Battlefront 2 graphics are already great. It's not just a graphics thing. It's a gameplay thing that they're high, super fun. What Battlefront 3 was going to do differently though is like you would actually feel like you were in the Star Wars altogether. Like fully interactive maps. You'd be 1 second you'd be on the ground, flight. Let's say you're fighting on the ground of like Endor perhaps, and then you might be able to hop into a ship, like into a TIE fighter, and fly up into space and land into a Star Destroyer or Rebel cruiser. Like that was fully functional in their version of the game.
That's crazy. That would have been back in like 2008.
Yeah, 2009.
That's crazy because they only were ever able to do that kind of stuff in space, not going from in atmosphere to space. They always had an in atmosphere battle, or they had like space battles where you could get in a ship
it was kind of sectioned up. And then
that's
EA,
crazy.
Although these current games they're fun, EA made a mistake. So that when they remastered Battlefront for PS4 and Xbox One. In 2015, like that was obviously a big thing because people everyone wanted Battlefront. Finally, Battlefront returns. Yeah. EA did a couple games. They didn't manage it the best to begin with. They had microtransactions among other things. They did fix the game and eventually make it it's a great game, and that's what we wouldn't be playing it otherwise. The people that actually made the game, not EA, the actual producers, DICE and whatnot. But it's now 2017, and we're coming up on it's a long time ago now, which is crazy to think. It's been almost 8 years or more than 8 years now. That's
nuts. That game came out. Not movie, sorry, game. Yeah.
It's so long ago. But
yeah,
the graphics hold up, but
that was one of the best things about the newer games was just the graphics were out of this world, and you just like the most unfortunate thing with me for Battlefront 1, the newer Battlefront 1. Was there just wasn't enough there, at least not in the beginning, for you to really sink your teeth into. It was like only multiplayer. You could only play a few maps, and it wasn't a complete game that they released.
I don't even know if they had a campaign for the first one. The second one does have a campaign, and it's actually a very good campaign too. Honestly, I would recommend just to get it. Right now, the Steam Summer Sale is live for those of you that can play on PC, and the game is $4 right now. Battlefront 2.
That's crazy.
I'm not necessarily advertising to give money to EA, but it's worth it at that price to play the game. I mean,
there's a peak. There's a peak Luke moment. I feel like one of the best Luke moments we've gotten in Disney Star Wars era in that game. It's just so well done. I love that. So,
yeah. But what the game lacks is it doesn't take a step forward. It really just modernized the graphics, and in some ways, the game does take a step backwards in the multiplayer gameplay. The vehicle gameplay is atrocious compared to Battlefront 2. Like you just spawn in, and you can't have like a teammate hop in with you. There's it's just kind of annoying vehicle gameplay. It's kind of more like just a reskinned Battlefield in some ways. But imagine, I mean, to be honest, you could if you just remastered the OG Battlefront 2, that'd probably be good enough.
Yes.
But why not? Why not just do that and expand off of that?
Yeah.
If Battlefront 3 had a working engine, which in my video I show gameplay where they did that. They flew from the ground into space. Like they had
crazy.
That. And back then, how could we not do that now with all the technology we have? And don't tell me that a game like that isn't going to make money. Just make a good game. Everybody will buy it. Like even non-Star Wars fans like playing that. Like I play Battlefront 2 with my friends that at this point they don't even watch Star Wars, but there's a market for gamers. Just that Star Wars is fun to play. There's tons of Star Wars games for a reason. I mean, hello.
That's what kept Star Wars alive. I mean, like through the 90s, late 80s and 90s, there's like video games in a lot of ways, even through the 2000s. You got some fantastic games. They really pushed the limits with a lot of what you could do. I mean, even the motion capture technology came from Star Wars games. It's crazy. And yeah, I completely agree with you. I wish they would just do basically a reskin and then move that forward. Like just reskin Battlefront 2, update it to modern standards, modern hitbox, all that stuff, whatever. But the appeal in that game was the fact that you could run up to a ship and get in it and fly away, which the first the newer iterations, there was like a coin method, which was silly, and then there was like now it's like point. Is it points based now?
Yeah,
skill points.
Yeah, you'll see that when we're playing. Like I'll be dominating, so I'll be able to play whatever I want. But yeah, I mean that that aspect is a little bit silly too, because then sometimes you not everyone gets to play a hero. You have to wait on heroes sometimes. So even if you are top of the board, you might not be able to play as what you want. Which whatever, the balancing, not the biggest deal, but yeah, like you're saying, the vehicle gameplay, like in the OG one, I could be Luke Skywalker and steal a ship if I wanted to. And if you're playing as a hero, you can't even get into vehicles in the new game too. So it's just frustrating when games take a step backward in some areas.
Yeah, well, and the problem there with me with a lot of modern games is the fact that they'll up the graphics times like 10, which good, but if it sacrifices gameplay, I'd rather play a game that has better gameplay with lower graphics. And I think that's been proven over and over and over again. I mean, that's why for me personally, the Super Mario 64 still holds up to this day, because the gameplay is still on point. It's low poly, all that stuff, which adds its own charm, but it's still a great game to play if you've never played it. And that's where I think the early Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 outshine the newer ones, and where I think they could take that example, make sure the gameplay, but if you combine those two things, it's a recipe for success, to your point.
Yeah, like I say at the end of the video, if you do it Battlefront 3 right, anybody listening out there that could actually make it, not only will you have the potential to make the best Star Wars game of all time, but you could potentially make the best game of all time.
Agreed. Yeah, because you could still do a campaign, and it would be fantastic. Get the people who do the Jedi Survivor, Fallen Order games. Get them involved if you can. If it's, I don't know, that's all different studio stuff. But then also the reason it's so fun is it appeals to everybody. Even if you're a casual Star Wars fan, it's still fun to jump in as a stormtrooper or a rebel fighter or whatever era it is and start blasting away. I mean, who hasn't done that as a kid in their imagination? That's what makes it so fun as a game to play for everyone. But no, it's great stuff. It's sad that this might not happen, but with this resurgence here, I mean, Star Wars fans and just people in general are hungry for good content, good games. And I feel like, man, I don't know what it is. It's like, feels like the last 10 years has just not been, there have not been like blockbuster movies as much, and there have not been like blockbuster games as much that everybody has to play. And if they did do this, which I know would be a monumental thing, I think you'd get that absolute blockbuster game that everybody has to play, and it would blow everything else out of the water if done right, like your point, Bismo. So
sorry, you might have touched on this a bit, but when did Battlefront, the first one, come out?
Are you talking the first iteration?
Sure.
Or
the one that I like playing.
Okay, so the first one that came out in 2003, was it the first one?
That sounds 2004 for the first one.
For the first one. And the second one came out in
2005, back when they could make a game in a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they added so much to that game. That's what's nuts about that.
Yeah, that was a big change. But then, so my point is, in the last few years, there's so much more technological advancements in programming and coding and all of this stuff. You're telling me you can't incorporate that into making these games? I mean, they have the base, or the formula in a way.
Yeah.
It's not like a programmer.
It's not like they gotta be creative. Let's be real. Yeah. It's not like they gotta be creative. They what you need to do. You just got to do it. Like, it's not like you got to think up a new story or anything or new artwork. Like, I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
for sure. And again, some of that technology would make it almost cheaper to produce now. Yeah. If they just wrap in that. The advancements. I don't know.
The only thing about that I could possibly think about, and why they might have had to change certain things, might have been legal reasons. That's the only thing. Like, if too much was similar, and if it's different studios and copyright issues. But if it's still all owned by Lucasfilm, Disney,
you'd think they'd be all in favor of this.
Yeah. So
it's a simple moneymaker for them. I don't understand why they don't try to get the best studio. I think part of the the story right now is it is a little bit of a legal thing with EA. I think no longer has the license for it.
Thank goodness.
I think it expired or whatever for them, but and it sounds like they don't have any plans to do it. Which I don't want you guys either. You guys
they screwed it up 2 times. It's like, how do you do that? Like the first time they screwed it up by not having a complete game, and everybody was mad about that. And then the second time was like the microtransactions. You're like, what are you guys doing here? You're ruining your game right off the bat. I mean, even with I'd equate it almost to like the KVS, the whatever that, I don't even know the name of that game. I forget now. Star Wars. What was it called?
Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
KVS? No, you're good, dude. That was the newest one they just released. Ubisoft came out with a Star Wars game.
Oh, Outlaws?
Outlaws. Yeah, that's what it was. Star Wars Outlaws.
I didn't even. I'll be honest. I didn't even buy that game. I'm an enthusiast. I'm a gaming and a Star Wars enthusiast. And I didn't even buy that game.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that one did worse than Battlefront 2 when it originally launched. But at the same time, there was like actual legal things happening because of like gambling became like it came up in certain states. Like states were basically going to ban it because it felt like gambling for kids. They had lawsuits against them. It was crazy for the Battlefront 2 when it came out in 2017. But yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah, I think it would be great if a different studio got a hold of it and was able to really. But you still have to get passionate people. That's the thing. Passionate people, and you have to have permission from Disney Lucasfilm. It would be a miracle. I mean, I think we would have even more success in some ways if just some very passionate people were able to get the rights to Star Wars Battlefront 2 or the code and copy, paste, update with graphics, update with more modern things, but keep it almost identical to that and maybe add in some other things in there if you wanted to. But then you could also expand on it over time. But just launching it that way, and if you kind of made fun of what came before, like no microtransactions, and like kind of played into it a little bit more lighthearted, like we're producing a full game. You get a full game at launch. No microtransactions, and give the fans what they actually want. You can get in a vehicle and fly away. I think, it could be a huge, absolutely epic success. So.
It's just in games in general, we're in a weird time, and same with movies too. But things take longer to make. The quality is upped, but we have better technology. So why does it take longer to do these things? You'd think with all these AI innovations, how can they not automate some of this like character creation or whatever, or some of this world creation? If that's the problem, like, oh, it's going to take too long to model all this. Like, well, you're telling me there's some kind of technology that could do that?
Right. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I know. It doesn't make any sense. I think they're part of it is just they're focusing way too much on how it looks, not enough on how much content there is, and how fun it is to play.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree with you with the gameplay. Like, obviously, like I love looking at nice games, but also games can look great, and like we shouldn't also I'd rather have better gameplay than graphics, but we shouldn't have to. Like, we should be able to get both. There's great games that have great gameplay and look great, like Red Dead Redemption 2. I've been playing a bit of lately, kind of this Western game. The graphics are insane, and the gameplay are just as good. Like, why can't you do both? And it's gonna make you money. If you make a good game, people are gonna buy it. It's as simple as that. It's not like it's.
Well, and the crazy thing even about that, if you're talking about like film to games, the gaming industry actually makes way more money than the film industry. If you look at it as a whole, like games overall, like blow out a lot of like Hollywood stuff, which is crazy. You don't think about that very much, but it's because people keep buying them over time, the replayability, but then also with a lot of these stories, I mean, they're adapting video games into movies now because the story content is so good. It's like a long format story. So it is a new frontier, a different frontier, and a different way to consume Star Wars content overall. And yeah, it could be huge. I think they do need to make it. If they wise up at Disney Lucasfilm, maybe get some new leadership in there, hopefully soon. And maybe they already are. And I feel like that's part of this transition we're possibly seeing. Obviously, it needs to be proven. It's just rumors right now, but if they come out with some of these things that like get back to making your fan base happy. Like this would be a great step in getting fans back on your side if you came out with a game like this in the time that we live in. And just things that we've seen that succeed lately are things that really tailor to the fans. Like one of the other ones, and we're going to wrap it up here real soon because we got to get to the actually watching you play it. But that'll be the exciting part. And we'll answer some questions in there, talk to chat. So definitely you guys stick around for that. We're gonna finish up here. But that Sonic movie, whenever they released it with like the weird graphic looking version, like the realistic version of Sonic, that didn't go over well. And like there was a ton of people online being like, that's the dumbest thing ever. And then they actually went back and changed it and then made all of their fans happy. That's now turned into a trilogy of movies and is very successful because they actually listened to their fans and gave them what they wanted. I mean, it's pretty simple. I think this is another great example of how to do that. So any last thoughts, Bismo, on Battlefront 3? Anything else before we get to playing it?
I mean, just spread the word. Hashtag make Battlefront 3. Rebellions are built on hope. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And I'm excited to watch you play this because it's been a long time for me. I haven't actually played this in probably like a year or two.
Yeah, I'm excited to play. I hope my gameplay doesn't disappoint. But I'm playing a bit. I'm excited to get into it. That'll be fun. Yeah. I guess was there any? I mean, we got a little bit of time. Is there any questions that we can answer? I guess that people asked in the
we can do that real fast.
I don't know.
Fact checker, do we have any questions out there that?
Yeah, we just have the one. Let me post it from Angelina.
Okay. Yeah.
Not Star Wars related, but she asked, can you please think of some good names for a boy or girl poodle puppy, because my neighbor's poodle Gracie is going to have puppies and she promised me one.
Wow. Puppy question. I mean, who doesn't like puppies though? Puppies are adorable,
super cute, and poodles.
I mean, it comes off one of them just rolls off. It's like Chewy. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Is that what you were thinking?
I was gonna say Chewbacca, but you can call him Chewie. Full name Chewbacca. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. You could do Porg maybe. That's another one. I'm just thinking of furry creatures in Star Wars, keeping it Star Wars related. Mm-hmm. Sometimes if you go like classical, I actually do kind of like that. Although giving dogs human names can get a little weird. For me personally, but like my friend's dog's name is Winston, and I feel like that's kind of a good name for a dog. I don't know why. That's fun for me. Otherwise, you go like harsh, and you like Rex or like Max is just a classic go-to as well. But if you're keeping it Star Wars, there's a bunch of options as well. Yeah. Anything else, Biz? You got some more you want to rattle off?
No, I mean I think you summed it up. Just a lot of the Star Wars names probably aren't typically, as used for like humans in the real world. So any kind of character name might work too. Like you could call him like, Obi or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. If it really stinks, you could call it like, a lot of it comes down to I feel like in a lot of ways you need to see the puppy.
Yeah. The coloring.
Like the coloring and stuff like that. I know the
also
chat,
maybe how they interact too. If it's a shy puppy or like a really energetic one, I mean,
exactly. There's so many different things. Yeah, if it stinks, you could be like Jabba the Hutt or Jabba the Poodle. I don't know.
My goodness.
If it poops a lot or something like that, you can
Bantha. What was the droid? I just lost
Bantha
it.
would be pretty good.
Oh, Bantha.
Droid.
That shot a lot of people.
Shot a lot of people?
Or, I don't know. Murdered a lot of people. Shoot, you were just talking about it earlier.
North fact checker back at it again.
K2SO. K2SO had the Terminator sequence in Season 2.
The little droid.
Chopper.
Chopper, thank you.
Yeah.
Chopper's a good one.
That would be a good one.
Okay. You save face there, Frank.
Wait, what do you think I was going to say?
Well, I don't know. You just said that a droid that killed a lot of people, basically. So
I was thinking KOTOR on that. What's
HK-47?
47. That's what I was thinking.
Goodness.
Who killed a lot of people? But actually, you're right. I think Chopper's death count is a lot higher.
Well, yeah, we've talked about it. I think he's the most.
Yeah, he's got the highest death count,
yeah.
which is crazy to think about. He's a war criminal at this point.
But he's still really funny and cute.
Yeah.
But dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want him on my team.
Yeah, I'd rather him be on my team than not on my team. I'll say that much. He's terrifying as a droid, and funny. Probably one of the best parts, one of the better parts of Ahsoka season 2, or Ahsoka the.
Just had to throw that in there towards the end.
Look, it's a positive. It's a positive. I'm trying to reach.
How you worded it.
Yeah, Darth Dustin.
It was like an underhanded comment.
Yeah.
Or,
if you want the show to continue for another 30 minutes, I can rant for 30 minutes. On Ahsoka.
No,
I think we want to get into game.
We do. We need to get into gaming.
Which Ahsoka should be like another thing. The heroes, like where's Mace Windu, where's Ahsoka, where's Plo Koon, where's Jango Fett, all these other heroes. It's like they shorted us on so many heroes in these games. It's like, again, that's another drawback. There's more. I mean, maybe
there's more heroes in the 2005 Battlefront, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not counting like BB-8 and the random Imperial droid a hero. So yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's a great point. That is a great point. And
like, wouldn't it be fun, like if like Din Djarin was in, like obviously like Din Djarin, like that's just, like we need more heroes that are kind of like that. Like imagine playing as the Mandalorian in as a hero in a Battlefront. That sounds fun.
Or Babs Yoda as a hero. How funny!
What?
The tiniest Babs Yoda, Baby Yoda.
Oh yeah,
as a tiny little hitbox, and you're like flying around.
Well, I'd much rather have that than BB-8. I can tell you that.
Or you could go in IG-11.
Whoa.
You could do.
Oh yeah. No, that would There's so many. But I said it is like any character that's a hero should be in it. Like you should have so many heroes in it. Just as many.
I literally think you throw in everybody. Like put Jabba the Hutt in there and like run around as a slug
everyone.
and just like smash into people.
You wouldn't run.
No, you'd slither around.
If they have
That
more
could be
than
fun.
one line, make them a hero.
Make them put them in the game as a playable character. I want to see this.
Yeah.
Only money. Watto's in there.
Oh, wow.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get into this gameplay. Thank you, Bismo, so much for coming on the channel again, having a fantastic conversation, leading the charge here with us for Battlefront 3. We want to see it happen. And all things Star Wars. Again, if you guys haven't, definitely head over to his channel, like, comment, subscribe there, and tune into all his fantastic stuff. He's got tons of awesome content over there, from video games to his what ifs are absolutely amazing. His attention to detail in those are incredible, and I guarantee you they are better than what Disney Star Wars has come up with. And it's fantastic stuff. He does a great job, and they could learn a lot listening to your videos, watching your videos on that. And your latest one of Battlefront 3, I think, is worth definitely a listen and learning all about that and playing the game. So just epic content, dude. Thank you. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, appreciate it. I did want to potentially tease something. I mean, I've said it's kind of in the works, but I have a larger project in the works, potentially a series, like a short series, not just a one-off. So be more of a quality over quantity type of project. But yeah, just teasing that out, in the works at the moment.
I like it, man. That's awesome. I'm excited for that. That's another great reason to subscribe to his channel.
Absolutely.
And watch out for those. I'm excited. I know nothing about this, so I'm excited to learn more and hear about it and watch it as well.
Yeah,
so
maybe we'll talk a little bit about it in the member stream. So
Ooh, little tease.
Even more of a tease.
Even more of a tease, yeah. So if you're not a member, join up now. We're going to be going to it here in the next few minutes. But thank you all for being here tonight, especially Bismo. Thank you, Fact Checker, for keeping it on target, being a little dark side, but we still, but in the best way possible. It was the best dark side person you could be.
Oh wow, okay, what a compliment. Thank you.
I'm trying to
You're trying to twist it. You're trying too hard.
I'm trying, but yeah. Anyway, thanks Gonkers for being here. We got to get the Gonk on out of here, and we're going to jump into the members only stream, so definitely jump in there. Do you have one last thing, Fact Checker?
Just if you're in America, have a great 4th of July. If we don't talk to you before then.
Great point. Yeah. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
America.
Yes. Oh man, for sure.
Be safe out there, though.
Yeah, be safe. Yeah, for sure.
I don't want anybody to lose any fingers. Okay.
It's crazy how that happens every year. Still, people are like, fireworks don't explode. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, they're like lightsabers. Treat them like they're lightsabers. But yeah, happy 4th of July to all of you. We'll be back same time, same place next week. 8 p.m. time, and we'll also do a members only. You get that every week as well. unless we're sick. We're also still doing War of the Cosmic Tires. It's been a while since we've done one. It's not going to be next week. It's going to be the week after that. We did have some scheduling conflicts here, and we're excited for that. And we do also have some other stuff in the works that we're working on as well. So we can't wait to see you guys again. So from all of us here, thanks again, Bismo. We'll catch you next time. Don't forget to always stay on target. Bye-bye.
Hashtag make Battlefront 3.
The Doth fact checker.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. You gotta say it back there.
I can't. Fine. I can't.
Find
Your lack of faith disturbing.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Yeah. And like Biz said, make Battlefront 3 a thing.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.